industry speaker and give you some of her story. Prior to Mary Kay, she enjoyed a successful career in sales and management with a large rental car company and was staying home to raise our then 7-month-old son. Despite my coaching on how to say no to her recruiter, she joined Mary Kay anyway in 1994. Go figure. Despite my best efforts to not understand or be 100% on board, she earned her first car a little over a year later, and I miraculously became on board. From there, she's earned 8 more cars, 2 pink caddies, and her highest monthly commission check has been in excess of $10,000. I could continue with more business accolades, but what I really want to share with you today are some of the more personal attributes that never have and never will show up on any company scoreboard. She challenges those around her, me, our kids, her friends, her unit, and she brings out the best in them, whether they like it or not. And a lot of times we don't. True knowledge, personal growth, and insight are not always comfortable or easy, but that's what she strives towards, always. She's a constant example of living life based on the golden rule, and she epitomizes Mary Kay's vision of God first, family second, and career third. She's been my light when I didn't want to see, my example when I didn't want to follow, my rock when I didn't think I needed one. Please welcome my wife, my partner, Senior Sales Director, Nicole Mikoda.
You don't want me singing for you. Pajama moments. That's what everyone remembers most from my mother's eulogy that I gave when she died 8 years ago of breast cancer. Pajama moments. You know, it's a condition that afflicts primarily females. It happens in the wee hours of the evening when the participants are wearing their pajamas. And those are the memories that I remember most about my mom, and that's when I felt closest to her. She and I in our PJs, everyone and everything transparent. But you and I both know that we don't necessarily have to be wearing pajamas to have a pajama moment, do we? In fact, dare might I say that we could be wearing some incredible after-5 attire and some slanted shoes and have a pajama moment together. And that's what I want to share with you in the next couple moments. I want to share with you my journey of the last 6 months, what I've learned, and maybe something that you can take away. 3.5 months ago, I had a double mastectomy. Yep, you heard me right. I had a double mastectomy. And I approached that decision and that surgery the same way I approach sharing the information with you today. Bold and proactive. See, every year for about 12 years, I've given myself the exact same birthday present, an annual mammogram. Because ladies, nothing says happy birthday like having your breast flat between 2 refrigerator doors, right? And I have prepared for my birthday the same way every year. 2 months prior, I book the blessed event. Because the resulting good news was supposed to be my birthday present to myself, and it had been for many, many years until this December. Weeks of retakes and surgeries, and the call finally came. I did not have cancer. Let me repeat, I did not have cancer. What I had were atypical cells and a very, very bad family history. The doctor said to me, doing nothing is not an option for you. His option, 5 years of a very strong drug that was going to increase my chance of uterine cancer and stroke. That was his option. I said, can't we just take them off? Because ladies, let's be honest, and guys, pardon me. They had done their part. They had fed 2 babies, and with every sunset, they were racing south for retirement anyhow. They had done their part, and I had done my part. I did my research. I knew my numbers. 45% risk reduction with drugs, or 94% risk reduction with the surgery. Now, some people have said that was a really brave and courageous thing to do, and I've never seen it as that. I've simply seen it as common sense and the best dose of preventative medicine available to me. My dad said, well, of course, Nicole, it was a statistically right thing to do, but sometimes people lack the emotional fortitude to do the things that will bring statistically best results. And wouldn't you agree that that is true in all aspects of life? Sometimes we lack the emotional fortitude to do the things that statistically would bring us best results. I've learned a lot on this journey, and probably at the top of my list would be how to take care of self. You know, we hear about it, we talk about it, but it was a whole other thing to step right into it. And I call it push and pause. I advocated for my double mastectomy. That was my push. But there were days, even weeks, when I didn't respond or initiate to the computer, to the telephone, and even to the people who were gracious enough to bring me meals. That was my pause. You know, when life comes at us, we've got to know how to push back. We've got to walk into decisions bold and proactive. But please know that bold and proactive can only happen when we've taken the time to be still, to be calm, from time to time, clear off our plates and start from scratch. It is then that we have the gift of deciding what goes back on the plate. That's the pause. Push and pause. We need both of them. Probably the most awkward part about this whole situation has been the emphasis on my breasts. Ask my 17-year-old son, and he will tell you he knows more about his mother's body than he ever wanted to admit existed. And some people even shy away from the idea. Breast cancer, oh, that's a woman's issue. Really? Ask my kids. Ask my husband. And they will tell you that breast cancer is not a woman's issue. It's an issue for anyone who loves a woman who has it. I'm currently in the reconstruction phase. I will be until about Christmas time. Right now I have expanders in my body, and that's exactly what they do. Every week I go and they expand the skin to make room for my new tenants. And they will arrive on August 29th, so you can set up a prayer on that day. And I am so excited because this part of my body is bigger and harder and wider than it was ever supposed to be. And because it's a surgery, I thought I should buy myself a little present. Don't you think we need to buy ourselves a little present? So I bought myself a little present. I bought a t-shirt that totally typifies how I feel about the whole situation. It says, of course, these are fake. The real ones tried to kill me. This has been about living, and you deserve to know that this journey has been very affirming for me on many fronts. The pathology report that came back from the doctor said atypical cells indicating a high probability of developing invasive breast cancer within the next 5 to 10 years. Ladies, I dodged a bullet, thank God, by the grace of God. I dodged a bullet. And because I was proactive, I got to be in control of what happened to my body. Had I not been, cancer would have been in control of what happened. And the other thing is that the simple truth is I've always known that I think a little differently than other folks, but sometimes I've lacked the courage to step into my differences because they go against the norm. And these last 6 months have taught me, affirmed in me, that not only do I think differently, but I am at my best, and the world gets the best of me when I follow my gut and do the things differently the way I was made to do them. So what can you take away from my journey? Having a double mastectomy was my choice. Yours is probably going to look a little different. But the thing is, I think we need to take away 2 things. We need to learn how to push when we need to push, regardless of what other people think. And we need to discipline ourselves, because it's a discipline, to push pause daily, weekly, monthly, in the midst of difficult circumstances. We need to discipline ourselves to pause, because the world rarely hands us opportunities to pause. We have to create them, don't we? You got to hear an amazing introduction from the amazing BJ Mikoda. I thank him so much. Didn't he do a fabulous job? I don't know where he went. And you know, what you should know about him is, I think it's easier to be the patient sometimes. Because, let's face it, I got to sleep, take drugs, and nobody expected anything of me. And he had to keep the rest of it going. We own a restaurant, we have teenage children, and he had to keep it all going. And 18 years ago, when I got the opportunity to marry BJ, I knew that I was a lucky girl. And I thought that you were a really, really lucky boy. But in conclusion, I had no way of knowing that the pajama moment he would give me would be the greatest one of them all. As we navigated through these very difficult and radical decisions, he simply and repeatedly and steadfastly said to me, as often as he felt he needed to repeat it, "Nikki, do whatever it takes to have you here with me the longest."